Getting into the video. Woo! That feels good to say again, boys. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
What?
As you can tell by the image on your screen, it's just us actually. But we're going to be going over week 1 of the NFL because NFL is back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what that means? Our weekly recaps are back with that. So stay tuned. Stick through this video. We got lots of action, lots of stuff to cover. And it's going to happen in about a 12 to 15 minute window, depending. So grab a drink, grab some food, because we're about to get into it. But before we do that, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so you're notified anytime we upload one of these beautiful videos. Let's go!
From the police in my trap shoes. Posted trying to flip 100, I come back full. Come from nothing, but I blossom to a tycoon. Betrayal scars, case I think about them stab wounds. We might not catch him today, but he gon' die soon.
Alright. Getting into the first game that took place for the NFL season. That was Bills-Rams. Bills look really good, and I look really sad. It's going to be a long year in the AFC East if you're not the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a freaking game, though, dude. I love watching that game.
Yeah, Bills looked really good. Yeah,
Maybe
Josh,
Von Miller isn't just playoff.
playoff Von anymore.
Yeah, maybe he's
not,
just
yeah.
Von Miller again.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just a stud.
What?
That single play offensive line that they got in LA is not doing too great either.
Wait, you mean you need a good offensive line to be successful in the NFL?
I mean, at least they need a 2-play offensive line, not a 1-play. Jeez.
Yeah.
Also, to everyone that drafted Cam Akers, congratulations. I'm happy for you guys.
Congratulations.
I'm sure you get a great year.
You played yourself.
Yeah, no, but I think
I
with
didn't
the
take any
Bills,
of those guys.
I think we all knew that the Bills were good, but I just didn't realize they were going to be dominant over the Super Bowl champions. Like,
Boy,
it just
were
didn't
they.
look like. It didn't.
I
look
did. I knew
good.
it all. Knew it all
Sure.
along.
Big Bills fan now.
But no, I think the scary thing
Oh,
is
biggest.
that Josh Allen was getting the ball out fast, and that he just hasn't done that before. And I that's going to be hard for so many defenses to put up with. So
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be perfect this year because I do think their offensive line is going to present issues too for that
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills offense, and their running ability isn't like the best yet. But yeah, they're going to be pretty damn good this year.
Yeah, they're going to be really
Well,
good.
After Zach Wilson got hurt and the Jets had to lose week 1, I guess if I had to pick another team to go undefeated for the rest of the year, it would probably be the
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
So.
Bills look good. Rams got some things to work on. But
What else we got going?
next, Eagles, Lions.
Ooh.
Can
What?
we actually talk about the offense for the Rams really quick? We joked about Cam Akers, but
Oh, sure.
Matt Stafford, maybe that elbow is actually a problem. Yeah, and then they just spent big money on Allen Robinson, who looked
Well,
like
his,
Allen Robinson the last few years.
his 3-yard, curl and just sit there route wasn't really too hot. So yeah, they didn't look great. And I mean, the Bills had rookie cornerbacks playing there. Like, they didn't even have their stud cornerback. So I mean, Allen Robinson, yeah, I think he's done. He's washed.
Yeah, I mean, I just found that that was the most thing. You would think that everyone just guards Cooper Kupp. Yeah, he was the only one that was getting the football.
You can't guard him. Yeah.
That guy and who's the other slot guy that they just got?
What are you talking
The other
about?
white guy. The other white receiver. What was his name?
Oh, yeah, the dude from Notre Dame, Korosky or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a weird name that I can't pronounce
Yeah, I know you're
on the
talking
top
about.
of my head. Okay. That was all.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Mikey?
Eagles, Lions. Lions kind of came back, really made a game out of it there at the end. Eagles ended up winning 38-35.
They
Yeah,
showed a
the
lot of
Lions.
grit.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Good on the
The
Lions.
primetime Blake Bortles right there, being out of the game all the way up until the fourth quarter hits, and then passing makes it easy, you know. So
Yeah.
primetime Blake Bortles. I do think that the Lions are going to be better this year. The Eagles are just a freaking freight train right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It is quite impressive though how close they got it. I mean, in that fourth quarter, they skunked to the Eagles and
yeah,
they were pushing.
Next
I'm
game.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready for the Lions season, see how good they can do. Next game, we got the Bears 49ers. Bears ended up taking that one 19-10 over the Niners, proving a lot of haters wrong. 8 easy winnable games. There's one.
yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, yeah, it's the first Trey Lance experience,
Yeah.
so take it with a grain of salt.
I don't want to like talk about that like that was like a game. That was
That
one
was
of
a
those
terrible
games
game.
a couple years ago where the Browns had to play in like 3 straight monsoon weather games, and everyone's talking about like the numbers of Baker and how bad he's looking the year that they went to the playoffs. And I was like, you guys realize that like both teams weren't able to do that, right? Like the reason why the score was like 15-12 is because you can't move the ball.
Yeah.
So like that is a good win, right? A win's a win, but I wouldn't put any stock into that game for
What the future's going
like,
to look like.
yeah, because that kind of when weather games like that, it kind of just throws off everything.
That it does.
And unfortunately for the 49ers, Elijah Mitchell's out for what, 8 weeks minimum?
I had two months, I think.
Yeah, and at the time we were recording this, we're just a few hours after they just signed Marlon Mack, who's done with the Colts. Honestly, I'm not expecting much out of him, but there's going to be a 4, running back by committee there. So fantasy-wise, I would just avoid anyone not named Jeff Wilson right now.
Pretty much.
What's the next one?
Moving on to the next game was the Steelers-Bengals. Real good game there. Steelers ended up taking it 23-20 in OT.
Joe Burrow reminds me too much of Andrew Luck in his early days, getting sacked too much, throwing in too many interceptions. But they came back. I think Jamar Chase was robbed a touchdown there in that fourth quarter, the toe tap one.
Is it really even coming back if they were never really like down by a lot? Like the Steelers were playing amazing defensively, but never really like jumped ahead.
Yeah.
It was just the Bengals shooting themselves repeatedly.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
True. I do think the Steelers defense
for
is
ruining my
good.
fantasy week.
Yeah. But no, I
one
do
less
think
pick, I win.
yeah. The Steelers, if they were able to keep T.J. Watt for the rest of this year, would have been a great defense. It'll be interesting to see how they keep up. I don't think they're going to fall off to like being a terrible defense, but they're going to have a fall off when you lose an elite pass rusher. So
I mean, they rely heavily on him, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like the defense isn't great in itself, but like he makes a lot of that go. I will say I'm grateful that he's out for week 3 against the Browns.
I'm thankful he's out next week against the Patriots.
So maybe, with the back, we'll move on to that later. But TJ Watt, it's not surgery. They don't need that.
Yeah, just rehab him.
About 6 weeks. So good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Steelers are notorious for not giving you the full truth on injuries, so we'll see on that. I mean, I don't think he'll be right back.
He put it on Twitter, like he put like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, "I'll be back."
Oh yeah, but like,
thing. So hopefully,
we'll see.
I mean, hopefully not as a Browns fan, but like I hope he's not injured.
Yeah.
You don't need another Watt player getting hurt every year. That would suck. And then the Mike Tomlin giving all the Steelers players before the game black Air Force Ones.
Menaces. That's
Like
George
putting-
Pickens. That's George Pickens'
Yeah.
6th pair.
It's like putting like gasoline lighter fluid on George Pickens, man. That is just asking for trouble.
Well, he was like, "Coach, I already got these."
Yeah, I'm already stocked up.
What's the next game? What's the next game?
Next game is Patriots Dolphins. Patriots went down to Miami there and got a good old ass whooping. Not a good game by the Patriots. Couldn't get anything going on defense or offense. They looked anemic. The Tyreek, being 5'8", mossed 3 Patriot defenders and took it to the crib.
At least you guys don't pay like a lot of money for all your offensive talent, right?
Yeah. No, we do. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Tyreek Hill. That was Jalen Waddle that did that. But still, and then Tyreek mossed somebody else and literally snatched the ball out of our defender's hand. And yeah, a terrible game by the Patriots. Hopefully they can clean things up.
How the turntables.
Yeah, the tables have turned.
I think this should be the last time that Mikey's allowed to say anything bad about Tua, since Tua's undefeated against them in the last 2 years.
Tua still plays like trash, but
Tua is the daddy of the Patriots. The uncle of the Patriots. Daddy's still Josh Allen.
that's facts.
So, but yeah, that game was.
Hey,
Bad.
good for Mike McDaniels.
Yeah.
Start off on
Yeah,
the
he did a good job there. Mm-hmm. But like Mikey said, Tua didn't play great still. But that's good to see. I mean, you're able to win against a team that you've struggled historically against, over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Without great quarterback play, and you're still able to win, and coached well. So that's really good. Unlike another game that we'll go over with a first-year head coach later on. What's the next one?
Next one is Browns-Panthers. Browns ended up sneaking it on a last-second field goal by Cade York to win 26-24 over the Panthers and Baker Mayfield.
Hey, look, Baker Mayfield finally got the Browns a Week 1 win. Proud of him.
Yeah, and he was thrown through the Browns pretty well too.
Yeah, he did that. Just want to say, Cade York, he's a god. That would have been good. Hey, intentional grounding, fine. You put it back where it needed to be, whatever, and Cade York breaks the record to beat you guys. That's fine. Then that kick was smack in the back in the net, like still high up. That would have been good from 70.
He's got a leg. I mean, that shows you why you draft a kicker this good. He's worth it.
Yeah. Don't let the score deceive you. It was not really a close game. Watching
You
it.
guys almost lost it.
Right, don't let the score deceive you. It's not a close game. The Browns dominated the entire time, and there was 3 plays that they just had complete, utter miscommunications on that got the Panthers to scoring. They had one where a linebacker literally just sat there, froze, and then Madden glitch while the tight end just ran right behind him, and no one came to him. And then you had the next drive, Robbie Anderson, where John Johnson and Greg Newsome couldn't communicate, so they kind of just ran into the same player and just left him wide open. It was a dominating defensive performance, and then 3 major disaster plays, which that happens. But still, okay. Speaking of really close game, what's the next one, Mikey?
Next one is the Colts Texans.
Okay.
Ending in a tie.
Hey, I gotta explain this, okay? So obviously T.Y. Hilton, Houston have a rich history, but what does T.Y. spell?
Tie.
A tie, exactly. So it's just the end of T.Y. Hilton's era in Houston. Kind of just makes sense out of it ending in a tie. So, but yeah, what are your guys' questions?
Why? How?
Why?
Yeah, that game's bad.
Yeah.
Why are you guys so ass?
No, so okay, so the Colts have the most offensive yards right now in the NFL. It doesn't mean that we're a better team or anything like that. It just means that we had to push out so many yards to even just get a tie with the Texans. It's mainly because rookie Alec Pierce dropped a touchdown, and then he also was guarded pretty well by Derek Stingley on another touchdown. So 2 missed touchdowns that were thrown to Alec Pierce. Nyheim Hines took a direct snap on 4th down conversion, wherever, missed it. And then Rodrigo Blankenship,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
missed the game-winning field goal. So credit to the Texans. I'm not here to shit on the Texans. I mean, obviously they could have won that game if we didn't just put up a great fourth quarter. They played pretty good defense, honestly. But the Colts, just seem to miss fire on all stages, and you can't do that and expect to win. But good enough to not lose at least. So breaks our loss streak on week 1, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, Rodrigo got cut. He, I guess, had back-to-back kickoffs that went out of bounds and then missed the game winner.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, if we didn't lose Rigoberto Sanchez, who does the kickoff duties, a one missed field goal to win the game isn't enough to have Frank Reich and Ballard say, hey, we need to move on from you. But because he can't do kickoff duties and he's missing game-winning field goals, you got to find someone else. So
I think it's kind of messed up because he just needed to get his glasses checked to get the right prescription. And he was fine.
everyone loves Blankenship, so honestly, it is super sad to see him out of the building. But I hope he finds a home somewhere else and kills it there. So
moving on to the next game, we have the Falcons having a big lead and then blowing the lead to the Saints.
some things never change.
Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Sounds like a Super Bowl.
Actually, it was that guy right there, but 28-3. Y'all suck.
I mean, I think yes, the Falcons lost, and that is painful, especially the way they did, because they probably should have won the game.
Yeah, they should have.
Not like they got screwed, like they just kind of
They screwed themselves.
fumbled the bag again.
I feel like this game for the Saints was like a return of like everything. Like, return of Jameis Winston, return of Jarvis Landry being good, return of Michael Thomas catching 2 touchdowns, return of Taysom Hill running in random ass touchdowns out of nowhere. Like, it just felt like the Saints just randomly returned a lot of different things back into the NFL.
Plant God back with a 2-tutty performance.
Slant God, baby.
Thank God,
Yep.
let's go.
Also, I
Sneaky
resemble
boy.
that remark you made about Jarvis Landry. He's always been good. Last year, he played through injury the entire year. That's why he wasn't great. And, Baker was injured. He had 1,000 yards both those years, okay, with the Browns. You guys stop disrespecting Jarvis Landry. Juice is a good receiver. You guys are all haters.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he got into a good offense again. So
You act like I'm going to deny that. You watched the Browns play last year and
Exactly.
last week.
exactly.
Yeah, it is interesting, though, that Taysom Hill outperformed Alvin Kamara, and Kamara was just kind of like obsolete pretty much all game. It was interesting.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
What's the next one, Mikey?
The next one is the Ravens at the Jets. Lamar Jackson gave old man Flacco that baiting, I guess I could say, to make it PG.
Disrespectful on 9/11.
Yeah.
But no, I'll give credit to Lamar Jackson. I thought he passed pretty well.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think we all expected this game.
He did.
So.
Yeah,
I had
throwing
his 3 touchdowns were over 25 yards. He had the highest depth of target last week, and he completed at an 80% completion rate at the point in time.
So the thing too is
His deep ball, not the
most
short.
of-
So he went
every play
17
that
for
Lamar
30.
Jackson is in is basically a play action. You know what I mean? Because he just draws linebackers just by being on the field. Like, you can't let Lamar Jackson loose. So I do feel like it makes his deep passes a little bit more wide open from time to time if you get a good release and everything like that. But this is where we keep saying in the postseason, you're not going to get just wide open 30-yard touchdowns all the time. And so it'll be interesting to see if he can kind of dice it up a la, Geno Smith against the Broncos defense. Do something more like that rather than, tossing up just moonshots because wide receivers are wide open.
But in fairness, Like, we give Josh Allen a lot of credit because he fixed what he needed to do, and he's obviously great
Yeah.
and a
I think Lamar
much
can too.
better quarterback, right? He's amazing.
Yeah.
Lamar has gotten much better at his deep ball, and has been accurate. Like, one of them was wide open, but the other two, they had a guy on him, and he dropped it into a bucket, right? So,
Sure,
like, he
yeah.
played well. It is good to see, Devin Duvernay step up, so they do have some sort of guy. And then Rashad Bateman does kind of look like that. He's a good number one. Jets wise, I mean, your offense is kind of a wash at the moment. It's a bummer. You guys had a great offseason. We'll see what happens when you guys kind of get your full team back. Then the biggest one, Sauce Gardner, like already getting the lockdown treatment. Like, you just don't throw his way.
Yeah, I think he allowed one catch for 8
like
yards.
8 yards.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then a pass breakup against who was it? Mark Andrews. Yeah.
So, Jets
And
might
then
have got
Jermaine
a little good
Johnson
there.
also got a sack too. So early returns from their first round defensive picks.
Yep. But what's the next one, Mikey? We'll move on from that one already.
Jags versus the Commanders. Commanders squeak it out and win 28-22. Old Carson Wentz.
Freaking
Yeah.
Jahan Dotson though, man, he's balled out.
Dude, those were like great catches too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, contested, great body control, sideline touching, 2 feet in. Like, it was good. Carson Wentz this game, and then Carson Wentz to
Carson
win
Wentz the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played really good, really, really bad, really stupid, and then really, really good again
Yeah.
at the last second. Yeah. You got the full Carson Wentz experience in one game.
Yeah, we'll keep going too.
Jahan
Yeah.
Dotson caught 3 passes for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And Scary Terry, we need to have him targeted more as a fantasy
2
owner.
2 receptions.
Okay. He is a good catch, good touchdown catch though, so appreciate it. Jaguars wise, it's good to see James Robinson getting some touches. It does not look like he's being held back. Like, he is the clear number 1 running back. That Travis Etienne owners, I'm sorry. Yikes. And then Trevor Lawrence, he's got to have some sort of growth. Like, there was what?
Protection.
Yeah. Like, he had a couple touchdown passes that he threw that the guys just dropped. But then he also had multiple, like, wide open passes that he just overthrew or missed completely. So, they need to do something to help him out.
Yeah, I do think Trevor Lawrence still has a lot of potential. I don't really think this is a case of him just being bad or anything like that. I think it's just a case of not having great coaching last year, not having good O-line this year, and his supporting cast is decent, at best at the talent position. So,
I mean,
yeah.
They do have, like, one of the best receivers in football, Christian Kirk. So,
Facts.
I mean, 6 catches, 117 his first game. I mean, he's making that money already.
Paying it
Next
back.
And he's not a bad wide receiver, just overpaid.
He's elite, bro. Stop.
He's just overpaid.
Facts.
Yeah.
Underpaid.
No way.
All right, well, what's our next game?
Next game is the Packers versus the Vikings. Big shock here as the Vikings whoop on Aaron Rodgers 23-7. Jay Jetta owners, feeling
Mikey,
good.
it's the best freaking fantasy week of all time with that.
Feeling good this week. Yes, sir. Love that guy.
I saw a bunch of things like, who's better, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, blah, blah, blah.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're both great, but Justin Jefferson, dude, like, it's crazy that, like, he had, like, over,
I'll tell you.
what was it, 1,400, 1,500 yards last year
Oh, yeah.
as a receiver, and he's, like, getting better still. Like, it was nuts.
Last year he had 1,600 receiving yards.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he's already, like improving still. Like, how do you improve on 1,600? It's crazy.
Yeah, he had
You get an offensive-minded head coach that actually wants to do the offense and like make it like good.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson's incredible. Kirk Cousins looked great.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he played really well. Aaron Rodgers' offensive line, they need their guys back.
Yeah, they do.
he was getting pummeled back there.
They had a one-ply line in there this week.
And honestly, like as dumb as it sounds, like the game changed like in the first quarter. Like that was like the downfall. Yeah, he dropped Christian Watson up all in the bucket for like 70 yards, and he just dropped it.
Yeah.
Like that's a touchdown that changes the momentum and landscape of the game. Instead, you punt it, and Justin Jefferson poops all over you. So.
Yeah.
We'll get to it, but I kind of knew this was going to happen. I just thought the Vikings were going to have a way better offense. So
Yeah, they obviously were, for sure. It was going to be awesome. They're going to be fun to watch. Who did you pick them, or did we all pick the Fudge Packers?
I picked the Vikings.
Okay.
I think I might.
But we'll get to that in another video.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, when I was sitting there doing it, I was like, man, I want to pick the Vikings. I just can't pick against Aaron Rodgers. I'm just going Rodgers. What's the next one though? This one was a fun one.
Next one is the Giants versus the Titans, and boy, was Saquon on it.
Is he back? Is Saquon back?
It's too early to say, but man, it looked like it. 18 rushes for 164 yards and a tutty. A tutty?
And a 2-point conversion to put them in the game-winning 2-point conversion, where he trucked a dude and got up and started yelling at him.
Yeah, he ran for almost as many yards as Daniel Jones threw for.
Yeah, this is Daniel Jones's last year starting in the NFL.
Yeah, he won't be a starter anymore. He sucks.
I'm sorry. There's no way that like there's any like decent progression unless he like absolutely turns into a freak, which he's just not. It's just not gonna happen.
I mean, he had like an okay stat line. I mean, he went 17 for 21 on passes for 188 yards, which is the only downfall of that for 2 tutties. 2 tutties?
Yeah, but he also just did his reads, like throw this short pass, show this short pass.
Yeah.
The one time that he kind of like improvised, he threw a pick in the end zone and got his butt chewed for it.
He's not
So
good.
it shows you how much they trust him as their quarterback. Like, do what we say in the system.
Danny Dimes
Don't
will
make
be no
plays.
more.
Well, the one thing I want to say about this is freaking Brian DeBalls, dude. Like,
Brian the Big Balls.
yeah, dude. I just love seeing a coach. Like, I hate that it's the Giants because I'm not necessarily like, leaning
beat the
towards the
Titans.
Giants or anything like that. But no, I just mean Dable is the coach that the Giants need. Just like Robert Saleh and the Jets, Dayball is the coach that the Giants needed. And I mean, play calls and all that aside, just the energy and stuff like that you can see from him and his teammates like together. Like I'm surprised that we're seeing that from Dayball, to be honest. But I love to see that, no matter the football team. So I'm pumped for Dayball doing good there.
Yep, good win for them.
Yeah. What's our next team?
Next game was the Chargers versus the Raiders, where Jay Herbs put on an absolute clinic and beat the Raiders 24-19.
I think Justin Herbert's got to be one of the more like shocking players to like just watch, like throw the football. It's just like how everything
he's
is
incredible.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
the one to DeAndre Carter in the end zone, it looked like he caught it and flew back 7 yards just by the catch alone. Just like
there was one where he was rolling out and then had a guy tackling him, and he was like kind of like hopping and launched it like back on his like back foot getting hit, and it was like a rope, like it was a laser through like contested coverage. It was crazy. Like his arm is incredible. Devontae Adams is obviously still Devontae Adams. He's going to be just fine there in the Raiderville.
Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers and is not greater than Aaron Rodgers either.
He's not pretty much the same, He's
No.
not practically the same, right? He was saying no. The Raiders will be fine.
I get the love for your quarterback and stuff like that. I mean, but it's the same thing as Tyreek Hill. It's just okay. Quit lying to us.
Yeah, you have to say it though. People ask you it, you have to answer, right? So we can give him crap for it, but it's not like he's choosing to just go out there and say it. People are, kind of forcing an answer out of him. The biggest thing for me was the Chargers' defense. Their defensive line was absolutely relentless, and that's scary. Khalil Mack is Khalil Mack again, apparently. So
Yeah, a little back.
yeah, he is back. Those are good, both two good teams. Just one team has to win unless you're the Colts and Texans. So
Yeah, dude. Okay, quick break. The craziest stat that I heard is the AFC South did not win a single game in Week 1, and they had two teams play against each other. It's just sad. But what's our next game?
Next game is the Chiefs Cardinals, where Patrick Mahomes really put on the clinic, though. That dude was killing it. They absolutely mollywopped the Cardinals 44-21. Kyler, he's been playing too much Call of Duty. Double XP weekend that just happened. Yeah.
you know what? I'm tired of it. Okay, he's got the study clause. What is he supposed to study? That's a brand new offense and a brand new defense there in Kansas City. Okay, he did his 1 hour. Okay, there's not other film to watch, so it's Call of Duty time.
Yeah.
No, that Cardinals team is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a Madden team. Like you pay your weapons and elite weapons only, and then you just kind of have everything thrown in there. You can't do that in real life.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing much this year.
Shout out to Dylan.
Sorry.
Shout out to Dylan. He talked about it a few times. We've talked about it, but the Cliff Kingsbury on the hot seat, and I think that's a very real thing. After this, I think it's a very real thing.
I feel like when you have Greg Dortch as your leading target getter in an offense, you have issues. So, yeah, no, I do believe Kingsbury is dark horse to be fired this year if they just do nothing. I mean, you keep Kyler, you just paid him, but something's got to change.
They looked horrendous. Like, honestly, that game was, like, sad to watch. Like, it was, oh, okay, so they're just going to punt again, and the Chiefs are going to walk down and do whatever they want. Like, there was no fight in that team. It was bad. Speaking of another really, really bad game, that leads us to Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
With the Buccaneers and Cowboys.
Yeah.
The field goal snooze fest.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game, but Julio Jones surprised me with how much he was being used in that offense. And then just the Cowboys, like, I don't know. Even with Dak in there, it just didn't seem like they were doing anything. CeeDee Lamb only had like 1 or 2 catches.
Yeah, we said it
2.
in our Julio Jones video that, like, of course, the Buccaneers would get Julio Jones, and he'll just be Julio Jones again. And shocker, there he is. I'm excited to see Julio ball out for the first 5 weeks before his hammy decides that he's done playing. Which I hope that's not actually what happens, because he is incredible. Yeah, that looked bad. The Buccaneers' red zone offense looked terrible.
Yes, it did.
Playoff Lenny, Fat Lenny, Big Lenny, he was legit.
He trucked Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that was awesome. But speaking of Micah Parsons, he's elite. That guy is so good. He really is so good.
He embarrassed that tackle.
Yeah, and really, honestly, that defense for the Cowboys is good, and it's the only reason why that game was even decent, because they held a minute. We talked about it at length, honestly, this offseason, and especially in our Cowboy video, how we were very skeptical of this Cowboys offense, and now you can see why. And honestly, the really sad part is that it's just got worse. Like he was saying, Dak out for whoever knows how long. And they lost another offensive lineman, if I remember correctly, during the game as well.
Oh, dang.
Something like that, I don't know. It's bad.
All the memes about the Cowboys being eliminated from the playoffs are basically true. Yeah. But Monday Night Football, that was actually a pretty good
let's
game.
get to this good game.
Yeah. Surprising. Like, Geno Smith, like, I was not expecting him just dot up the freaking Broncos like that. Like, he was just putting the balls place where they weren't expected to be.
Seahawks Nation, let's fly.
Let's fly. Dude, the comments from Shelby Harris and Geno Smith after the game were just legendary.
Gold.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. And Melvin Gordon's saltiness just cracks me up. He was so salty after the game. Like, bro, that was their Super Bowl. That's what they cared about, and they beat you.
They wrote me off, but I didn't write back, though.
Yeah.
Legendary, bro.
So I'm in that western part of the country where everyone is a big Broncos fan, and I hate Broncos fans because they got gifted prime Peyton Manning. You got a Super Bowl, and now they think that every team is one quarterback away to winning the Super Bowl, and then you get freaking Russell Wilson, who's like, "Oh, I don't think the Seahawks are good anymore. Let me get out of here and go to those Broncos. That's one quarterback away." And I'm just gonna completely lose my shit week 1 to them in Seattle. I just love it.
And in fairness, we literally talked about this. We've said that the Broncos are fakers. They are not as good as what people are saying. Their defense was not as elite as people were trying to say. Their offensive line wasn't like anything better than what the Seahawks had. Their weapons aren't better than what the Seahawks had offensively. Like, I didn't get it. It is just overhyped because the Broncos are a huge fan base and because of Peyton Manning.
Too many people also listened to Colin Cowherd, I think, because he had them winning. They still could. I mean, it's only week 1, but I just don't see them winning the AFC West like he has them winning the AFC West. There's zero chance they're winning the AFC West. Those dudes,
I would put my
fakers,
entire
bro.
life savings on them losing. Period.
Yeah, they're fakers.
The Raiders have fight. Let's put it this way: the Chargers have a great team, right? And they've got a coach that's willing to go for it.
Yeah.
You've got this head coach Hackett, who just looked like he was out of his element there. Like, he should not have been. They were not prepared. He did not game plan well enough. He did not coach good plays. Like, the scheme was bad.
I'd take a timeout.
I have 3 of them. I have 3 timeouts. No, I have 3. Dude, you just used one late, like right before you kicked the field goal. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was bad.
The Manning cast after the fact.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah, it was not like a pretty showing.
They're fakers.
Congratulations to the Seahawks. They fought and they played hard.
Yeah.
Sad for Jamal Adams.
Yep.
He's probably out for the year. But we'll see what the Seahawks can do. I mean, Geno Smith is great. He's not going to be the quarterback.
Geno?
But congratulations.
Broncos country. I tried.
Nice.
Broncos country. Left wide.
Yeah. I stole that one from Gridiron Heights or whatever you call it.
We tried. Nice.
Yeah. It was just not a great showing by any means.
Nope.
But if you guys have made it to the end of this video, we do greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys do hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. We are back. We will be putting out videos more consistently now that, we've got everything. I've gotten my moving situation there. So, apart from that, though, stick tuned, and we'll catch you guys another time for another video.
Peace out.